Tesla this morning. I want to tell you what the Wall Street Journal is reporting. This is an article now questioning whether Wall Street is losing faith in the company. You're looking at that stock, and maybe we can put it on the screen right now. But Tesla, obviously, you saw where it ended the day yesterday, and I wanted to get a screen up to see where it is right this moment. But do you believe that Wall Street has lost faith in Tesla?
Look, I can tell you, as someone that's been a long-term bull that obviously turned bearish, it comes down to the math. I mean, the math doesn't lie in terms of what's happening to the pure numbers in terms of unit demand on Model 3.
Right.
And given the profitability for the second half, if they don't hit profitability, that's where this thing starts to spiral out in terms of where it could go, just given the $10 billion of debt. And ultimately, can they even get there going 2020? That's why you're seeing some of these draconian forecasts.
Where did the Wall Street Journal get that article? Are you sure they got two sources for that article? How did they come up with that, you think? Was that today that came out?
It was today, Joseph.
Wow. I got to read that. So tell me again.
Ahead of the game.
Yeah. So
Wall Street losing faith.
Huh.
Okay, but
didn't the guy say the shares could be worth $10?
Right.
Wasn't that?
But so you have Morgan Stanley saying that the sort of $10 scenario. That's a worst case scenario, we should say, because I think they're really at $200 some odd dollars.
At $230.
Yeah. You have Tesla now lowering the prices on some of the higher end models, but not on Model 3. So how, do you think that's going to change the demand picture? Because that's now the issue. No longer it's a supply problem.
The walls are caving in a bit in terms of what you're seeing in S and X. Because if you look at ultimate unit demand, that's really, right now, we're modeling that to go down about 40% over the next 2 years. In terms of Model 3, they've bet the company on Model 3. So right now, in terms of base and mid-range, if I look at what's happening in the U.S., we haven't seen the uptick that you'd want to see so far. And if you look
so what do you think the problem is? Why do you think you haven't seen the uptick that there was this expectation that was coming?
Look, I think the EV tax credits, that's come off. That significantly hit them more than anyone anticipated. At the same,
if it's not subsidized by the taxpayer,
it's not subsidized, and it's got cut in half Jan 1 and gets cut in half July 1.
Do you remember when Elon Musk used to say that the tax cut was not going to hurt them at all? I remember that. Yeah. I mean, he used to make that point all the time.
Well, he said we're going to have self-driving taxis in a year. What did you just say about the walls, or what did you say?
That the walls are closing in on it.
The walls are closing in a little.
Well, what's your target on it now? What do you have? What's your rating on it?
Yeah, so we're 230. We're neutral, and what I would say is, even some of these draconian worst-case situations, I'd view it as this: if they get through and you can see profitability in second half, then this was just a short-term nightmare.
But is it a binary situation?
But I do view it as a binary because if they don't hit profitability in the second half, we believe they'll have to raise about $1 to $2 billion more capital.
Do you think they're on track to do that? From your channel check sources and whatever else you're looking at.
Right now, there's darker clouds on the horizon. I think that profitability in second half right now, Knicks could win a championship maybe as a better chance.
You don't like to change your price target, obviously, but are you that often? I mean, are you comfortable? Are you honestly sitting here telling me you're comfortable at 230 right now?
Well, yeah, we just lowered the price target, and what I'll tell you is that 230 is cautiously optimistic. Because right now we're giving them the benefit of the doubt that they will be able to.
What was your old price target?
Originally, we were 3.
So you should have changed that long ago. Obviously, maybe you should be changing. You don't think you were late changing it to 230?
Oh yeah,
it's under 200.
And what I would tell you now, I mean, to your point, if we start to see more tea leaves that profitability is not on the horizon in the second half, that's really where you have to factor in another $1 to $2 billion of capital being raised.
I mean, I don't envy you. I have no idea. I would hate to try to.
We had an analyst on yesterday who made a suggestion that there actually is a floor on Tesla that's much higher than $10 a share, in that he believes they would ultimately be acquired. And he talks about these talks that he says he has sources on. I want to say we don't have sources on this necessarily, that Apple tried to buy the company. Do you believe that the company would become a takeover target? And do you believe that Elon Musk would sell?
Yeah, man, look, I've covered Apple for many years, and I don't believe that. In other words, there's always been the conspiracy theory that they've gone after Tesla, but fundamentally, remember, Beats is the largest acquisition they ever did at $4 billion. So I think that's just more. If you ultimately look at Project Titan, there's really ultimately a nail in the coffin.
Project Titan is the car project.
There's really a nail in the coffin of Project Titan in terms of Tesla being acquired. Look, I think right now that it's going to be very difficult for any strategic to go to a board being like, okay, Musk is going to be running this company and we're going to buy it. So I think you'd have to see a stock go a lot lower for that to happen.
It's funny. I saw somebody on Twitter this morning joking around saying there's no way it's true because Elon would have tweeted about it if there was a buyout offer.
Yeah, and I think that's one, culturally, Cook and Musk, I don't see them in a candlelight dinner.